charging Donald Trump card of sex offense. Rachel Crooks has been powerful and insistent. But lay the private history, and wrath versus the CEO, in a bid for office space is a various type of problem. Crooks knows she has a lot to find out as a applicant for the Ohio Country legislative body. She's never run for office space. And she's departure up versus an position in a deep prudent area. She says she's sure in her abilities, although I'm a fast research. More Democratic candidates such as Crooks are, usually talk, potential to do so in November. In medium-term elections for ASEOs at first period, the outside, the one who didn't win the White's building, reached an ordinary of 25 seats in the U.S. Building of Representatives. And Crooks has a innovation element, as John Verdant, a policy scientific prof at College of Akron, points of. She's emerging in the New York Times, the Washington Position, and some print. Via domestic print scope, she's perhaps the largest renowned inhabitant of Breakfast, Ohio, people 17,545. Her behalf recognition arises of an shameful face, as she puts it, more than rather than a 10 years ago time she was work in New York. One night, she says, she saw actual property magnate Trump card close and lift in her office space house, Trump card rig, and entered herself. He fair kind of detained on my brush and kissed my cheeks, she says. Description: the occurrence time meeting in her residing chamber in Breakfast. Later he violently kissed her on the labia, she says. Her ego to him are tangible, revulsion and wrath. Same's a swine, she says, calmly. She came striker, she says, following vision some female do the identical, and listening Trump card say in a discussion he doesn't act how way to female. It was more than question of reality, she says. Very expressive arrest. I'm departure to speak the true. Following she went social in the allegation, several human beings close her on fleeing for office space, and ultimately she solved how she would. She's fleeing for office space in the country's 88th area, and region house distribution via 2 counties, Sandusky and Seneca. Drive on the Shire roads, thou'll see cornfields and large, outdoor heaven. Crooks is uncontested in the forthcoming more Democratic initial, and has the supporting of the regional side. In November, she will go up versus Draft Reineck, a Republic someone's fleeing for a tertiary period. Indifference, Crooks is named mainly as a Trump card prosecutor. As Gender Beck, an honored prof at Ohio Country College says, he's very difficult to bet against Trump sense in a voice versus a special lawmaker. And time she's emerging in domestic print, Reineck is a regional celeb. He and his household own car dealerships, and his behalfs on billboards, ads, receive yours key of Reineck, and license platter frames. Fair on all I met in city told they'd purchased a car of a Reineck representative office. Permanent in Bailiwick's coffee shop in Center Breakfast, a Seneca Shire magistrate, Steve Schuff, tells me Sames acquired several. Crooks, 35, grew up in Ohio, and now planned for a college in Breakfast. On the afternoon I attended her building, Carlo, an Irish setter mix Crooks adoptee for ethical supporting following the 2016 poll, barked eagerly in the cuisine. Crooks excited towards a paperboard carton, imbued in appreciate you cards for her donors, to do chamber at a lunchroom spreadsheet. Her campaigning officer, Chris Liebald, says they produce figures on how lot they've grown before they folder a financial paper in April. She said she's enterprising for a more than equitable tax framework and says components of her area include extraordinarily top levels of kid poverty reduction. If selected, she says, she'd job to foundation programs how would assist same largest sensitive in our community, and to provide human beings in her area include accessing to superior paying jobs and nice schools. So far she's proposed no particular politics proposals. She doesn't requirement a 40 web page stance document, says Verdant. Yet she is necessary more than rather than a few sentences. Yet, Crooks is tap in the revulsion, terror and fury lot female include thick felt by the present authority. And for several, how's quite. One of her supporters, Jenna Gani, is marital to a female and has a 7-year-old child. She says she's worried on the Republic side's stance on gay wedding. Anything will justify you more rapid rather than the terror of someone take yours kid off, Gani tells me in a small restaurant, break and burst into tears. Crooks doesn't thoroughness who I'm marital for, Gani says. She knows my son is so undertaken thoroughness from. Others say they're not amazed. We've had one latch of a nice run in our country lawmaker, says Jim Roberts, the president of the Seneca Shire Republic Board, meeting in bailiwicks. David Cole, who owns a bookshop downward the road, says Reineke's view represents such of the human beings who dwell in the society and predicts same will win else period. He is a prudent republic, Cole says. Or the is a prudent republic area. Analysts say she has a opportunity at win, but accept the prospect are versus her. Can she put it all along? Yes. Will she? I don't aware, Verdant says. The applicant has an heavy fight.